Hello, I'm Pastor Ari Matson and I work here at Christ Our Savior Lutheran Church in Sussex, Wisconsin. This is what I hope is the first in a series of video blogs that I'll do regularly that will focus on my sermons and maybe other ideas that I have, specifically looking at those things that I'd like to share in my sermons but don't always have time for. There's always a lot of great stuff in the text that I have to preach on, and I've got a limited time on Sunday morning and I try to keep them focused and on one topic. So there are many ideas that kind of fall by the wayside as I'm preparing my sermons each week. And this is a place I'd like to share some of those ideas with those that are interested. This past week, March 27th, 2011, I preached on John chapter 4 and the story of Jesus conversing with the woman at the well. In my sermon, I focused on the idea of God offering us a living relationship, not a religion of rules or following the right things to believe, but a living God that offers a living relationship to us. Another part of that passage that I wish I could have spoken to but didn't have time was Jesus' idea of timing in all of this. As he's talking to the woman at the well, he talks about the fact that the hour is coming when we will worship God not in one specific place, but will worship God in spirit and truth. As he's talking to her, he emphasizes that the hour is coming and is now here, that hour has already arrived. In John's Gospel, the idea of the hour refers to God's kingdom, God's reality happening. That it's going to be that time when God's reality has taken over and that God is making good things happen in this world. The fact that Jesus says that it is already happening, is already here, is a very significant thing. Many, many times, and much ink has been spilled, and many books written, and many TV shows made, all devoted to the idea of trying to figure out when the end of days is coming, when God's kingdom will finally arrive, when trying to interpret those signs that are coming. But here Jesus says that it's already here. God's kingdom is happening around us. Look around you. He emphasizes this when he's talking to his disciples in that chapter 4 passage. And he says, the harvest is already here. It's not coming down the road. Get ready, head out into the fields, gather up the fruits that are there, because God is already moving and doing things. Instead of spending time looking for the signs of the end of the age and trying to crack the Bible codes, Jesus suggests that we don't need to look for that the one true sign is Jesus Christ himself, God incarnate, living Word walking among us, crucified on our behalf. That's the only sign we need. And therefore we're freed to gather in the harvest, to live a life of love and compassion towards others, rather than worrying about what's coming. God's reality, God's kingdom is already happening through us. That's some of the ideas that didn't make it into my sermon this past Sunday. I hope you find it interesting. Please feel free to add comments to my blog, and I will talk to you again in a couple weeks. Thank you.